Okay, we will reconvene our meeting. I think our 5-minute recess is only 10 minutes this time. At this point, I believe it would be appropriate to entertain a motion.
Motion for what?
To get something on the table.
Oh, we had a request for citizen comments that was passed.
We citizen comment after we get a motion on the table.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that that this commission accept the report and find no merit, and the case be closed and move forward from here.
Is there a second? Is there a second? There's no second. Okay. Meeting adjourned. No. Is there another motion?
You got to have a motion to open up citizen comments.
Not really.
That's Robert's.
At this point, I'd like to make a motion we defer.
What?
We defer.
Well, I would like to hear citizen comments tonight. I can look at that, but I would like to hear the citizen comments to see what, if they got some feedback that we maybe need to look at in the deferral time.
Well, then I think what we're being told is you're going to have to come up with a motion to put on the table so that it would allow for citizen comments.
In our this is a special meeting, but in our regular meeting we have citizen comments before anything's ever on the table.
No, sir, we do not ever have citizen comments before something is placed on the table, not concerning a specific topic.
Not the specific topic, but we have citizen comments. They can speak then, or they can speak later on the topic.
So you're talking about it prior to us considering any unfinished or new business.
That portion of citizen comments of our regular meeting specifically states that you may speak about any item, whether it is on our agenda that night or not. This is a special meeting. At a special meeting, the only thing that can be considered or discussed are the specific items for which public notice was provided. So we are on a one-topic meeting here, and during the specific portion of our meeting where we consider agenda items, we read the caption, we get a motion, we get a second, we discuss, we entertain citizen comments, and then we vote.
No. In the interest of moving forward, and I will say that, no offense again, but I did not vote for you to do this investigation, and I had certain reasons in mind, and I think I see why now, that maybe some others see the wisdom of that too, but maybe not. I will second your motion in order to open up for citizen comments, so that we have a motion on the table.
Does your motion stand still?
Yes.
So we have a second? Any discussion? Does the board have any discussion?
At this point, I would ask for citizen comments.
At this time, we'll open the meeting for citizen comments. I do not have my written notes with me, but I'll remind people that you need to address only the topic being considered. You are limited to 3 minutes. The city attorney is our official timekeeper, and please use your time to make constructive comments and not verbally attack people. And with that, we'll open to citizen comments. Is there anyone who wishes to speak at this time? Sir? If you'd give your name and address, please.
My name is Butch Ever. I live at 3114 North Waterford Court, and I would ask you to consider seriously Commissioner Justice's motion to defer. I've had that report since about 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I've already heard of several inconsistencies and misrepresentations coming from people involved. I certainly would like to have the chance to review everything and look at the affidavits if it's public record, and review these things so that I could actually come here with a coherent statement rather than coming here having 23 pages of investigate, whatever you call that, finding, and try to make something out of it. Some of the things that you've said I don't agree with, even considering what you're saying, that it's an overly broad interpretation of the law or the ordinance. That has to do with what you said is a part of the basis of that. They got if I call Commissioner Sellers about something, he could call the Public Works Director and talk to the Public Works Director. This commission was told by, I think his name is Don Darden with MTAS, you have one employee, and that's the city manager. One of the problems that's happening in this city is the commissioners are getting all down inside the department heads and talking to employees, and having been on the payroll committee and dealt with the employees on a personal level, I can tell you there's a pervasive sense of fear in the city of Mt.Juliet. So tonality of conversation has a lot to do with things. And so reading through this statement, there's a lot of things that need to be conveyed here to find out, because you have to look at the context of what's happening here, not just the content. It's very easy to pick out a specific statement and not look at the context of how it was said and come up with an inappropriate or incorrect conclusion. So I encourage you greatly to defer this so we have a chance to look at it.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Could you give your name and address, please?
My name is Kevin Mack. I live at 2201 Brook Valley Court. Ms. Flowers' entire report reads like a brief filed on behalf of Linda by her attorney. My paraphrase of it is, some of these things might look like ethical violations, but here's why they're really not. Among other things, the phone call to Bobby Franklin, the city planner on behalf of CRS, happened before the ethics code was adopted, so it couldn't be unethical. Oh, and the city's policy on sexual harassment doesn't apply to the mayor, so she didn't do anything unethical when she did something prohibited by sexual harassment policy. This is absurd. The city's personnel manual, in the section on sexual harassment, clearly states the complaint and the investigation will not be discussed with anyone other than those persons directly involved. This is the right policy for the city to have adopted. It's the only fair way to deal with an investigation so that the rights of everyone are protected. And it's the policy that the mayor violated. But you won't find that sentence from the personnel manual in Ms. Flowers' report. Instead, you will read the absurd claim that the mayor is not covered by the city's sexual harassment policy because she is exempted from the personnel manual in Section 1C. She's already given the list of the personnel, the people that are exempted due to 1C, which includes elected officials, the city manager, members of appointed boards, consultants, advisors, the city attorney, independent contractors, people employed by the city for not more than 4 months, volunteers, the city judge. But it would be absurd to exempt this list of 9 categories of people who act on behalf of the city from the regulations on sexual harassment, which is exactly why the section which spells out the city's policy on sexual harassment in the personnel manual has the following statement. As used in this policy, employees includes A, all persons paid by the city of Mt.Juliet and working for the city, and B, all other persons who work under the authority of the city of Mt.Juliet. Clearly, the mayor is paid by the city. For the purposes of prohibiting sexual harassment and dealing with accusations and investigations of sexual harassment the City Commission made sure they adopted a broader definition. The mayor is clearly included, but you won't read that in Ms. Flowers' report either. If Ms. Flowers makes a mistake this elementary, either deliberately or through incompetence, how can the rest of her report be trusted? The City Commission, the citizens, the press should all insist on their right to review the entire testimony of all the witnesses who gave statements or provided documents to the city attorney.
Is there anyone